Welcome to Lacole again. I'm Chef Thomas Martico. Today we're going to talk a little bit about Easter ham and how to go ahead and brine a ham for Easter. So what we have here in front of us are numerous ingredients, and I'll kind of talk you through the brining process. We have here in this container, we have some brown sugar. We're just going to add this directly into some tap water. It's cold tap water. I have some kosher salt. We're going to add the kosher salt in. Some mustard seed. I'm going to add that right in. Cracked black pepper. Chili powder for a little bit of kick. If you don't like the heat, you can always omit this one. You have some mace and some allspice. And some whole clove. And when you're going to put it right into this water, and you're going to take a whisk here, and we're just going to whisk this mixture until it's all dissolved, relatively dissolved. If you'd like, you can add some garlic clove to this. You can actually do your own spice rub, but you really need the salt in here for the curing process. You might ask yourself why people go through this process. There's a couple reasons why we do this. At a raw stage, we have a raw ham here. The brining process really works in several different ways, especially from a chef's point of view. One is when I put this in here, the salt and the sugar are going to extract the blood from the ham, so you're not going to have all that blood flavor. It's also going to extend the shelf life of the ham, so it can actually yield you more product for a longer period of time, and the most important thing, it just tastes better. So what we're going to do, we have this mixture pretty much dissolved. We're going to take this ham. You notice that it's a bone-in ham, and I've left the casing on it. The reason being, you can cook it with this casing right on it. It keeps everything uniform, keeps everything cooking evenly once we get it into the oven. Okay, so into the water it goes. You want to push it down in there. You want to make sure that brine gets all the way to the top. And that's as easy as it gets right there. So we're going to take this brine and we're going to take it and put it into the refrigerator overnight. We want to let it sit for at least 24 hours. And then we're going to pull it out, and I'll show you the process after we let it cure for 24 hours. See you soon. Okay, it's been about 24 hours, so I got my brined ham here. We're going to take the brined ham out of the brine onto the rack here. So we're going to remove it. It's kind of a messy process, not too bad. You just let it drain off. And then what we're going to do, we're going to rinse off this brine, because remember, we have a lot of salt in the brine, so we don't want that salty flavor on our meat. So we're going to rinse it off. And then what we're going to do, we're going to leave it on this rack, uncovered, on the bottom of your refrigerator. All raw meats must be kept on the bottom level. You don't want any raw meat over cooked items. So this goes in the bottom of the refrigerator, uncovered, for 24 hours. We're going to let this dry out completely, and then we're going to add our wet glaze. In the bowl I have some brown sugar, and in the bowl I'm going to add some nutmeg, some allspice. These two spices you want to really watch. They're very potent, so you don't want to use too much. A little pumpkin spice, some kosher salt, cracked black pepper, dried mustard. Dried mustard gives it that nice little zing that you might want. And a little bit of cinnamon. Okay, so we have all our dry ingredients, so we need some wet ingredients. So I'm going to use a little bit of honey. Alright, finally it came out, so we have a little honey. Then what we're going to do is wetten the mixture with a little bit of pineapple juice. And then we're going to whisk all these ingredients together until they come to a nice sauce consistency. If it looks a little dry, you can keep adding a little bit more liquid to it. You can kind of see how quickly it comes together. Like I said, this is a very cold glaze, so there's no heating, so you don't have to heat up the kitchen. You can just do it really fast, really quick, and you see how fast it is. And that's your cold glaze for your ham. So it's been another 24 hours. Our ham is nice and dry. So what we're going to do, we're going to add the wet glaze right on top of the ham. I'm going to show you how you can do it with a spoon. You just ladle the spoon over it. You're just going to let gravity take its course. Or if you have some kids at home, and really our kids, they really like to get messy. So you can actually put some on here and you can just rub it with your hand have the kids do this. You can actually add a little bit more glaze to it and really load it up. Have the kids move it around if you'd like. And you see that it's a very thin layer of glaze. That's what we want. Too much glaze and it's going to caramelize and the sugars are going to burn. So you need something very thin like this. You want to rub it all the way around, get the entire ham coated with the glaze. And then from here, we're going to go right in the oven. Okay, our ham has been in about 2.5 hours at 350 degrees. You want to make sure that the internal temperature of this ham is 165 degrees. As you'll notice when I pull these out, they're in 2 pieces and not 1. Well, I took that piece of ham that we brined and I cut it in half, and I also did a spiral cut on the ham as well. It's very easy. You can have your butcher do this, or you can do it yourself with a little special tool that we have here at LaCole. It just makes your life much easier when it comes to carving the ham. You can actually carve off here and not have to have all the hustle and bustle of trying to cut off nice thin pieces. It's already cut for you. So what we're going to do, we have a little bit of the wet glaze. So we're going to actually add a little bit more while this ham is nice and hot. You'll see that it starts to melt a little bit on there. And then we want to reserve some of this glaze as well for our plate. So when we're plating this up, we are actually going to serve this with a little bit more of the glaze on top. We're going to let it rest for a few minutes so all the juices can come back up into the ham. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to slice a little bit for our plate. 3 or 4 pieces just like that. I'm going to place it right here on the plate. Fan it out a little bit for presentation. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to finish with a little bit of that glaze again. Right over the top. Thank you once again. I'm Chef Thomas Martico from LaCole Culinaire. To your house and to your home and family, have a great Easter.